Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Grandy. In today's lesson, we're going to start talking about comparing length. As you can see on your screen, we're going to be looking at three different lines here, okay? We have a red line, a yellow line, and a blue line. If I were to ask you to estimate or to guess which line is the longest, which line would the longest be? Just by looking at it. Okay. All right. I'm going to guess the blue line. Okay. In order to figure out which one is in fact the longest, we all know what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to use our rulers to measure. Now, in order for me to show you how we're going to measure these paths, I'm going to be sharing my screen, and it's going to be my camera, and we're going to be working together on a few problems. And it's not going to be the exact same path, but I'm going to show you how to measure it on the paths that I have drawn. And then we're going to work through these problems together, just so we can figure out exactly how long these paths are and how much longer some paths are than others. All right, let's take a look. All right. So again, the paths that are going to be drawn are not going to be exactly like the ones that were just on the screen. They're going to be ones that I actually drew, okay? And that works just as well. All right. So here we have path C and path D. As I said in 2 lessons ago, whenever we're measuring using centimeters, we use the small numbers on the ruler. So let's take a look here and let's measure this side of this path. And that's about 3 centimeters. So we're going to write 3 centimeters. Let's take a look at this one. That one's about 8 centimeters. Okay. So we can estimate, if I would look at that, would be 3 centimeters, 8 centimeters. And whenever we measure it, about 3 and 8. And what we need to do is add 3 plus 8. And 3 plus 8 is 11 centimeters. Very good. 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, now let's take a look at path D. How many centimeters do we think this is? Let's estimate. Let's say 1. Estimate this one. How about 6? All right. So we're going to estimate 1 centimeter and 6 centimeters. Let's get out our ruler. And it's 1.5. Okay. So we can put 1.5, or we can just put 2. It's a little bit over 1.5. So we'll put 2 centimeters here. And our estimation was pretty good, guys, because it is 6 centimeters. Okay. So we have 2 centimeters plus 6 centimeters. 2 plus 6 equals 8. So we have 8 centimeters. The next thing that we have to do is we have to decide which one is longer. Is path C longer with 11 centimeters? Or is path D longer with 8 centimeters? Right. Path C is longer. How much longer? Now, how do we figure out how much longer path C is than path D? Right. We have to take 11 centimeters and we have to take 8 centimeters from that. So we are subtracting 11 minus 8. 11 minus 8 is 3. How much longer is path C than path D? 3 centimeters. Now, we're going to measure 2 objects. We're going to measure a key and we're going to measure a pen. Okay. So here is a key. All right. If we were to look at this, how many centimeters would you guess this is? How many centimeters would you guess that is? Okay, let's say 5. Okay, we're going to guess 5 centimeters. Now, let's get out our ruler and let's measure this key. It's a little bit over 5. If I'm going to go here to there, it's a little bit over 5. So if these are our choices, 1 centimeter, 6 centimeters, or 20 centimeters, our answer would be 6 centimeters. Because again, the word that we're looking at is about. So remember, we're estimating. It's about 6 centimeters. Now here's one of Mrs. Grandy's favorite pens. Okay. What do you guys think? It's 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, or 15 centimeters. Now remember, this key is about 6. The pen is bigger. So if we were to make an estimation or a guess, what would our estimation be? What makes the most sense? Right. 15 makes the most sense because we're talking about it's about 15 centimeters. Now, let's actually measure it. So if we measure it, what do you guys see here? It's actually going to be 14. It's a little bit over 14. Okay. So saying about 15 is a pretty good estimation. Okay. So it's about 15 centimeters. Now, the last thing we're going to do in this lesson is a word problem. Okay. And let's take a look at this word problem. And the word problem says a path has 2 parts. So it's very similar to what we did here. 2 parts. Okay. The total length of the path is 12 centimeters. If one part is 8 centimeters, how long is the other part? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our ruler and we're going to draw a line that is 8 centimeters long. Okay. All right. Now, as you can see, here's the 12. Okay. Now, what we need to do is figure out how much distance is between the 8 and the 12. We're going to look at this ruler. So from here to here is 1. From the 9 to the 10 is 2. From the 10 to the 11 is 3. From the 11 to the 12 is 4. So from 8 to 12 is 4. We need to add 4 more centimeters to make the path a total of 12. So let's try to do that. Let's take our ruler again. And I'm just going to draw the line from here to here. Okay. Now I'm going to label this part as 8 centimeters. And I'm going to label the bottom part going down as 4 centimeters. Okay. Just like we did here, we had to add both parts of the path. We added 3 and 8 and 2 and 6. So for this one, we would add 8 plus 4 equals 12. So when it asks us how long the other part of this 12 centimeter path is, the answer is 4 centimeters. Another way that we can do this is you can take 12, because that's the total, and you can subtract 8. So 12 minus 8 equals 4. Here's your 4 here, and here is your 4 here. Okay. All right, boys and girls, that is the end of this lesson. So in this lesson, we learned how to add lengths of paths together. We learned how to find missing measurements on one part of the path when we know the total. And we also learned a little bit on how to estimate the measurement of a few items like a key and a pen. That is the end of today's lesson. I will see you all soon.